Joining me now, Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican from Iowa. Thanks for being with us today. I know that you're getting ready to vote. Do you think that the vote will pass, even though there's a few quirks in the works?
Thanks, Dana. We are still sorting through the text that came to us late last night, and it's speculation right now on whether it will pass or not. But we continue to dive through that. One thing I am excited about, one thing I have seen, is that we do start to address the defense spending caps. I think that's really important. But will it bring enough people on board? That's yet to be seen.
How big is the concern for people that have fiscal hawk concerns or bona fides? Does this bill really give them heartburn?
It does give us heartburn. I am a fiscal hawk, but I'm also a defense hawk. And so I have to reconcile those two versions of myself and decide, is this too risky for our federal government with the additional spending? I know that we need to do something for our military. We have decimated our military in the last number of years. We need to rebuild. We need to have strength and prevailing strength around the globe. And we have to come to consensus on that. But I haven't seen enough of that sway yet in this bill.
What about the concern about entitlement spending and how we're going to deal with it going forward? Take a look at what the Wall Street Journal wrote this morning on the editorial page, that the annual budget deficit is cruising toward a cool $1 trillion, yet some Republicans are flirting with adding another new entitlement called paid family leave. Republicans have to handle the urgent task of rebuilding the military in a dangerous world. But one certainty, entitlement reform must happen or we'll be defending ourselves against Kim Jong-un's nuclear missiles with Medicare checks. Of course, they certainly have a way with words, but is that sort of the tension you're talking about? Like taking care of the military, but at a cost of basically crowding out other types of spending going forward?
Well, I think we need to be smart about the way we move forward. So various types of entitlement spending, whether it's Medicare, Social Security, other types of benefits, we do need to figure out a smart path forward in that regards, but we need to engage more people in the workforce as well. So we have to balance the two, but we certainly know that our defense, we need those dollars to make sure that we are providing our troops with the latest and greatest. They need lethality on the ground, in the air, and from the sea, and we need to be able to provide that for them. So we're going to have to balance this out, Dana. We'll see what happens this afternoon.
Meanwhile, you are doing important work talking about the other threats that face our country. Take a look at something that happened in your committee yesterday with a former colleague of mine, I see, Ken Rapawano. Watch.
Yes.
If we're looking at the near term, clearly North Korea is a primary concern and focus of the department. A combination of destabilizing behaviors and very aggressive testing program for their ICBMs, aggressive statements about their nuclear weapons program and capabilities give cause for a great concern.
Tell us what you were trying to highlight yesterday in that hearing.
Absolutely. As chairman of the Emerging Threats and Capabilities Subcommittee on the Armed Services Committee, I was trying to highlight the threats that are posed around the globe and how we as a United States, both through our Homeland Security, but also through the Department of Defense, how we're countering threats of weapons of mass destruction, which is the purview of my subcommittee. So we highlighted that, talking about ways that we're preparing for any type of threat on the homeland, but also what our special operators are able to do around the globe to counter those threats.
I know that there was a lot of talk about North Korea and its capabilities, but what do we know about Assad in Syria and the additional capabilities that he might be developing, but he's also continuing to use against his people right now?
Yes, Syria is always a very serious concern. We have seen Assad use those types of weapons of mass destruction against his own people in the past. I am certain that he retains that capability of moving ahead with nefarious actions in the future as well. We also want to keep our eyes on Iran, of course, Russia and China with developments, but certainly with the Olympics, we want to keep our eyes on North Korea as well and make sure that we're protecting our athletes.
Well, we appreciate you being on today. Thank you, Senator Joni Ernst.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dana.